Hi, 6th grade students, it's me. Hey, we're skipping through the book. We're going to switch to page 65. 65, so we're going to have to flip through a little bit. It's kind of out of order, but I know that this will help you with simplifying fractions, which is suddenly one of our bigger issues with the smaller calculators. So I want you to listen carefully. I'm going to start with some vocabulary. The page looks like this, and it's called prime factorization. First, a prime number is a number that has only two factors. Wow. So we have another vocabulary word, and that is the word factor. Rather than explain to you what a factor is, I'm going to give you some examples. In the problem 3 times 5 equals 15, 3 and 5 are factors, and 15 is called the product. So a factor would simply be a number that we multiply. In the problem 4 times 2 equals 8, 4 and 2 would be considered factors of 8. So it sounds kind of weird because we're talking about multiplying, but a factor is a number that you can divide a number by, and it goes in evenly. So let me give you an example. Factors of 5. Or excuse me, I don't know why I said that. Factors of 50. Well, I'm going to make a T-chart. Factors of 50. 1 times 50. These are factors of 50. Because 1 times 50 equals 50. So 1 and 50 are factors of 50. 2 and 25 are factors of 50. 5 times 10 is 50, so 5 and 10 are factors of 50. So these are all the factors of 50. 1, 2, 5, 10, I ran out of room, 25, and 50. Those are called factors of 50 because when you divide 50 by each of those numbers, you get a whole number. So basically we're going to be dividing whole numbers by whole numbers. Now a composite number is a number, well that's kind of obvious because it has the word number in it, that has more than two factors. Now you're going to ask what this has to do with simplifying, but I'll explain it each day a little bit more so we get really good at simplifying fractions. Here's an example. Factors of 42 are 6 and 7 because 6 times 7 is 42. You can find it on your multiplication chart. And we're going to have to get really good at using our multiplication chart. 6 is a composite number. It has more factors. 7 does not. If you look in the middle of your multiplication chart, you're not going to see the number 7. Because the only way to get 7 is 1 times 7. It is a prime number. So to get 6, you get 2 and 3. So the prime factorization of 42 is simply 2 times 3 times 7. Did you notice that I wrote the times sign with a dot? It's another way of writing times. So this is called prime factorization. If you can do this, you can simplify any fraction. So I want you to use primarily the first 4 or 5 prime numbers. The first prime number is, and I'm going to move, I hope you got that down. Pause it if you need to. Prime numbers, we're going to write them up here. The first prime numbers are 2, 3, 5, and 7. If we can get 2, 3, 5, and 7 down and divide by 2, 3, 5, and 7, we're going to get almost every problem. If you want to be cool, you can learn the next one, 11. So these are the prime numbers that we need to memorize, we need to work toward learning. Now I'm going to start with the smallest. Can 72 be divided by 2? Well, you can try it with your calculator. 72 divided by 2. And you're going to find out that yes, it can. It's an even number. 2 times 36 is 72. Since 2 is prime, I'm done. So I'm going to have a problem with these stars because mine will look a little different. 2 is a prime number. So I'm not going to fill out these boxes because I'm quitting. Once I get a prime number, that's the goal and I'm quitting. Is 36 divisible by 2? Well, try it. 36 divided by 2. Does that go in evenly? Sure. 36 divided by 2 is 18. So I'm going to write 2 and 18. Now, 2 is a prime number, so I'm going to circle it. I'm done with that. I'm not going to end up using these stars. Let's move on to 18. 18 is a composite number. We need to keep moving. Is 18 divisible by 2? Yes, it sure is. 2 times 9 is 18. And since 2 is prime, I'm going to circle it. Now we're down to the composite number 9. I know it's composite because it's not listed here. Can 9 be divided by 2? And the answer is no. 9 divided by 2 is 4.5. That's not a whole number. I'm looking for whole number factors. So let's move to 3. Can 9 be divided by 3? Well, let's try it. 9 divided by 3. 9 divided by 3 is 3. 3 times 3 is 9. Oh no, my TV came on. Let me pause it. I'm watching football. So, the prime factorization of 72 is 2 times 2 times 2 times 3 times 3. Wow, the TV came on again. Now I've got it turned off. There's a shorter way to write this, but I kind of want to leave it alone for right now. The prime factorization is 2 times 2 times 2 times 3 times 3. If you multiply those, you did it right, you should get 72. That is called prime factoring. We want smaller numbers to work with. To simplify fractions, we're going to have to divide. And it has to be a whole number answer. Let's try 150. Can 150 be divided by 2? Well, let's try. What's 150 divided by 2? Is that a whole number? pausing to see if you're listening. 150 divided by 2 is 75. 2 times 75. 2 is a prime number, so I'm going to circle it and move on. Now I'm down to 75. Can 75 be divided by 2? Well, if you tried 75 divided by 2, you'd find it's 37.5. That's not a whole number, so we're sure not going to use that one. We tried 2, let's move on to 3. Can 75 be divided by 3? What do you think? Doesn't seem like it should be, but 3/4 is 75 cents, so the answer is yes. Since 3 is a prime number, I'm going to circle it. So, 2 and 3 are prime factors of 150. Now I'm down to 25. 25 is not divisible by 2 because it's not even. I could try 3, but I already know it's not going to work. I know that 5 will work because it ends with a 5. 5 times 5 is 25. So the prime factorization of 150 is 2 times 3 times 5 times 5. If you type that in your calculator, you would find out that that's 150. That's called prime factorization. That's going to help us learn to simplify fractions. Is it extra work? Yeah, it's extra work, but we can do this. We can learn this skill. It's going to help us in other parts of 6th grade because it's on page 65. So you know it's going to come up again in a later unit. So this is called prime factorization. It's prime numbers that can be multiplied together to equal a product. I hope this helps. We're going to have lots of practice on this in the future. Hope you took good notes. Thanks.